What's going on, Bears fans? Harrison Graham here from Chicago Bears Now. And on today's show, it's Overreaction Monday after the Bears' 24-14 loss on Sunday to those hated Green Bay Packers. So let's go ahead and jump on into some rumors here on Overreaction Monday. Number one, Aaron Rodgers. He owns Chicago. Yeah, no shit. Four smoking Jays on this one. You can't dispute it. It's just indisputable that Aaron Rodgers absolutely owns the Chicago Bears. It's just a fact of life. This is what he yelled to the fans at Soldier Field after that late touchdown to put Green Bay up 10 points and essentially win the game. Quote, "I've owned you all my effing life. I own you. I still own you." And hey, you don't gotta like it. You can hate it if you want to, but you know what? Number 12 is right. Aaron Rodgers is flat out right when he says that. And you know what? If I was on the other side of things and if I was a Packers fan and this was a Packers show, you know how fired up I would be after he did that? Yeah, it sucks. But you know what? The guy has absolutely decimated the Bears for years, and we'll outline just how bad it's been since he entered the league with Green Bay several years ago. The guy's right. What do you want me to say about it? It's okay to admit that Aaron Rodgers is right. But do you think he's right? Are you willing to admit it? Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Let us know what you guys think down in the comment section. Is Aaron Rodgers right about owning Chicago? Give me a Y or give me an N. Don't believe me? Well, look at his career in Chicago. 22-5 overall for the Packers since he's faced the Bears in 27 starts. 11-3 at Soldier Field, and he's got 57 touchdowns to just 10 interceptions in those 27 games. It's been an absolute bloodbath. Bears fans have been trying to avoid this guy for years. They were hoping he would get traded, but of course came back to Green Bay for at least this season. And yesterday, while he wasn't amazing, he didn't put up huge numbers. He was very efficient, 17 of 23, 195 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and he had that patented scramble touchdown at the end where he pump fakes a couple times and finds the pylon and then yells at the crowd saying, "I still effing own you." It's just brutal, man. It's absolutely brutal, but at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers has owned Chicago, and you cannot say that he doesn't, because if you don't, you're just delusional. It's just a fact of life. Describe Aaron Rodgers in one word. Let it out. You can cuss, whatever you want to do in the comments. Just describe the man in one word on today's show. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, so when the YouTube ad break comes in play, scroll down to the pinned comment and let it out. Let out your hatred for Aaron Rodgers, and then scroll back up. The video should be back and playing. All right, let's keep it rolling here on Overreaction Monday for the Chicago Bears. The refs contributed to the Bears' loss to the Packers. I'll go one smoking J. I won't completely dismiss it because I will say this. The officiating in that game was very bad. It was really, really bad. It was bad both ways. I do think it was worse for the Bears, but I can't sit here and say that's why they lost, but it didn't help. The lack of the free play on the Justin Fields interception in the end zone, just a brutal miss. And some people are saying, oh, but he didn't cross. Yes, he did. He was in the neutral zone. Everyone in the stadium knew he jumped off sides except for the officials, like Justin Fields said after the game. And the Bears had all the momentum, and that changed things. There's no doubt about it. That being said, it would have created a 3rd and 2. Who knows what happens there? Ideally, you'd go punch it in and get a touchdown. But you got to be able to flush that stuff. And Darnell Mooney saying after the game that play affected him. You got to be able to move on from that kind of stuff. And the Bears were not able to do it for at least until about the 4th quarter. That play cost them about 2 quarters. There were other bad calls as well, not just the offsides. The taunting call on Edwards after Aaron Rodgers grasps his face mask and pushes it. Edwards gets in his face and chirps at him. That's only a personal foul against the Bears. That's a joke. That's a hey, Aaron Rodgers has been around for a while, let's benefit him here call. That's BS. That was a BS call. Extended that drive. That was tough. There were several bad spots. This officiating crew did not know where to spot the football. Sometimes they gave guys too much yardage. Sometimes they didn't give them nearly enough yardage. Very strange. And then I thought there was a questionable call on pass interference on Jalen Johnson on a key 3rd down. But you know what? At the end of the day, it was a handful of calls, and I don't know if it was the overwhelming factor. One Smokin' Jay, there's a little bit of truth, but not enough for me to sit here and say the refs cost the game at the end of the day. Grade the refs on Sunday, A, B, C, D, or F, and I tweeted this out last night, that whole debacle on Sunday Night Football at the end of the game between the Seahawks and Steelers, where they reviewed the DK Metcalf catch when he literally took 8 steps after he caught it, and he clearly fumbled. That was a whole weird deal. NFL officiating's been bad this year, but luckily it hadn't just been against the Bears. A, B, C, D, or F. It was one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen, so I'm going to give them an F. I thought they were absolutely terrible. We'll talk more about them in a second, but first, something that's not terrible is making money. And guess who's making money again this week? Your boy here, the third straight 4-1 week. Go to chatsports.com/Bears. Get going with BetUS, the best sportsbook partner in the game. Deposit $100. They'll give you $125 for free with that promo code BEARDOWN. I'm red hot, guys. I'm 12-3 in my last 3 weeks betting against the spread in the NFL. I hit the under in the London game. I hit the under in the Baltimore Chargers game. Missed out on Browns -3, but I won the Cowboys game. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb in overtime. And then the Rams actually absolutely hammered the Giants. Like where I'm at right now, betting against the NFL. And if you want to make some money, chatsports.com/Bears, promo code BEARDOWN. I tweet out my picks every single week, so give me a follow on Twitter as well. So, again, back to this whole ref thing. At the end of the day, when you score 14 points, that ain't going to cut it. 14 points is not beating Aaron Rodgers in 2021. It's just not going to happen. You're not beating the Packers. You're not going to beat most teams scoring 14 points. When it comes down to it, and we'll talk a little bit more about the offense in a little bit, 14 points isn't enough points. It's just not. And in today's NFL, 24 is about league average, and that's what the Packers got to. If you told me the Bears would hold the Packers to 24 points and Aaron Rodgers to less than 200 yards passing, I'd be like, you know what? They got a pretty damn good chance of winning. Lost by 10. So at the end of the day, the officials stunk, but the Bears' offense not nearly good enough. The Smokin' Jay rumor meter, just to remind you guys, I gave that one Smokin' Jay, so it's barely truth. There's a little bit of truth to the refs impacting the game, but not nearly enough to determine the game. 2 Smokin' Jays, people are talking. It's you're kind of in that rumor realm for sure. 3 Smokin' Jays, it's pretty likely. It's not a done deal, but it's heading in that direction. And then 4 Smokin' Jays, bear down. It's a fact. No doubt about it. Of course, 0 Smokin' Jays equals fake news. There's no chance of it happening. You know what's not 0 Smokin' Jays and what is 4 Smokin' Jays? Chicago Bears Now being the fastest growing Bears channel here on YouTube. Join the movement. Let's get to 36,000 subs ASAP. We're currently at 35,273. Hit that big red button and subscribe. Daily videos, including our live show tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. Okay, let's do one more here. Justin Fields needs a better coaching staff. 3 Smokin' Jays, pretty likely. I'm not completely off the cliff, but I'm definitely still leaning that way, which is where I was after that Browns debacle for sure. If the season ended today, and this is why I'm in the 3 Smokin' Jays, I'm firing Matt Nagy. Like, if the season ended today, I would fire Nagy and the staff and go in a new direction. Now, have they made some adjustments? Have they improved? Yes, but I still don't know if it's enough to show me that this is the staff for Justin Fields. You look at the Bears' offense this year. I mean, you're still bad in most areas, right? Points per game, 30th at 16.3. Yards per game, dead last at less than 250. Passing yards a game, this is just bad. Guys, in 2021, the Bears are passing for 117 yards a game. That is a joke. Dead last by a mile. Good rushing attack, which we've talked about, 7th in the NFL at about 130 yards a game. And then third down, really bad, 28th at 33.3%. Bill Lazor has been an upgrade, but I would say a very minor upgrade. The play calling has been a little better, although I thought he got away from what was working yesterday for about 2 quarters. First quarter, under center, play action, handoffs, that was working well. Second and third, it was a lot of shotgun. And in the fourth, they kind of got back to what they were doing in the first quarter. But more consistency, and let's be honest, Bill Lazor doesn't have some great track record of calling plays. He wasn't great in Cincinnati, and he wasn't great in Miami. He's been better than Matt Nagy was calling plays, but let's not act like Justin Fields is just taking off with Bill Lazor. Now, he's done some good things. I like where Fields is trending, but he's still a rookie. It's still a learning process. You look at the numbers there, that looks like a rookie quarterback, right? Low completion percentage, not a lot of yards. TD to interception ratio, 2 to 3. The QB rating's pretty far down there among NFL quarterbacks. at the end of the day, where we currently sit, and again, this is why I'm not at 4 Smoking Jays, but I'm at 3, I don't trust this staff to maximize Fields. And that's why, unless we see notable improvement, not just statistically, but with what I'm seeing with my eyes, and we've seen some of that. There has been improvement since the Cleveland game. There's no doubt about that. But would you say, for those of you watching right now, that it's been enough to be like, yeah, this is the staff for Fields? I'm not there, not even close. Now, could that change over the next 10 weeks? Maybe. But again, if you're asking me today, I don't trust this staff to maximize Justin Fields. So if I was running the organization and Week 17 just happened and they finished 8-9 and missed the playoffs, I would fire the staff and I would go in a new direction. But luckily for Matt Nagy and company, they have time to try and figure this out. Are you still on the Matt Nagy fire train? Are you aboard? Type FN for fire Nagy. Type NY for not yet. You're not quite there yet. Get your votes in. FN for fire Nagy. Type NY for not yet. We'll see what happens, and trust me, if Matt Nagy ever does get fired, we will cover it here on this channel. What we'll do for sure is we will be live tomorrow like we are every Tuesday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time. We go live on Chicago Bears Now. We take your questions. We talk about the latest news and rumors and whatever else is going on with this football team. So subscribe and join us tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern.